Hello guys, this will be the final Goop Factory intermission, and as you can see, I'm not in my car in the Goop Factory parking lot. This is because I have now quit the Goop Factory. Everything was going pretty well for me, and I was being upgraded to Slime Slicer and such things, but there's been a few things that's just personally I think I can do better just on my own. So let me just start by talking a little bit about the Goop Factory. I got this job. I had the choice of this or becoming a car salesman for O'Regan's. I decided being a car salesman for O'Regan's was going to take up a lot of my time. Meanwhile, doing an 11-hour night shift at the Goop Factory is going to give me like the same amount of cash. It's going to be steady cash, and it's not going to take up a whole bunch of my time, really. I just spend the night there. I can do whatever I need during the days. So I decided, I'll go to that. I did the interview. Everything seemed pretty good. I went in and just kind of kicked ass at it. I just and went to each station, opened my mind up to what they were telling me, and I just learned a whole bunch of stuff. One thing that quickly became a bit of like a problem in my head, though, is that I, unknowingly before applying to this place, have a relative who's like one of like the lead hands there. That's all fine and dandy until everyone just keeps on going like, wow, you remind me of him so much when he started here. You're just like him. Wow, you guys look so similar. You can see the genetics. I am not related to this man. He is an in-law cousin, that is. Being that one of my parental figures, marriage or ever, it's their cousin. So I am not at all, or hopefully not at all, related to this person genetically. And all people talk about with me, 99% of what people talk about with me is how much I remind them of him and what he was doing my age, and then how I'm going to be like him or something like that. So I felt that it didn't really matter how much effort I put into it or what position I ended up getting. It was a lot of that credit was just going to go to him anyways, because it's like, oh wow, that, whether it's like a higher up being like, wow, it's just like you had a good influence on him, when I only met him like twice before this job. Or people that would be below me thinking that I think it was like nepo baby shit. So yeah, that was one problem that I had. Aside from that, everything's been pretty good with it. The main downside is that it's like 11-hour night shifts for like 4 days in a row, and the place gets really, really fucking hot. Aside from that, the place is pretty good. Then that takes me to this week. This week, I was not feeling all too great. I was just like throwing up and that shit. So I stayed home. While I was home, I decided to do some of my own business shit. I got myself a couple $1,000s. Let's just say like 2 to 3 weeks worth of cash from the Goop Factory, all in my pocket in like a single week. And by having the time off and getting that much cash and realizing if I just put myself towards my own shit, I can be making a whole lot more money and be a whole lot happier while making said money. And also just having the freedom of just doing really whatever I want anytime I want. I was starting to think, maybe I should leave this place. I was aiming to leave like around like March or something like that. Anyways, I come back. Mr. Slime Lord brings me into his office, and I sit down with him, and he tells me that I've been using a lot of sick time, and I'm still in probation, so he's going to extend my probation by another 3 months. Now, this was another factor in deciding if I was going to stay or if I was going to quit, because one big reason I was there is for the benefits. They have like a good dental and health plan. Now that I was going to have to wait an extra 3 months to get said benefits, I was a little bit more on the edge, and now this wasn't really even going to work for the March plan, because March would have gave me like 2 months, 1 or 2 months of having benefits before I decided to quit my own terms and that stuff. So yeah, he was telling me, no, just make your decision and all that stuff. That's what the probation's for. And I got sick that day. I went back home, and I thought about it a whole lot. And I came to a conclusion. I came back the next day, and I had a quick conversation with him. I was like, yeah, I don't really think I can be all too dependable with these type of problems I could be having. And I think it'd just be a good idea for me to head out. And I can either just like stay until the end of the shift, or I can just go by the end of next week or something like that. And then this is Mr. Slime Lord is great, by the way. He was looking out for me, and he was just like, yeah, no, you can like just stay till the end of next week, make sure you get like a full pay cycle and everything like that. And then I was just like, oh yeah, well, you see, like I've been making like a whole lot of money there. My main concern is if you need me to be here and do the tasks and make sure you don't like get all fucked up with that. And he was like, oh no, that's fine. If you're making this much money doing your own thing, it just doesn't make any sense. Shook his hand. I thanked him for the experience he gave me and everything like that. And now I went on my merry way. So now, what is the plan? What is the plan that Mr. Man is unemployed with a big apartment and I got bills to pay? Main big part of the plan is continue what I was doing on the side, except go at it like quadruple the effort, I guess. So I do like buying and selling on Facebook Marketplace, not like some shitty fucking person that you find on the internet. I genuinely find that I do it as a hobby. I love looking into my own interests, getting like a huge hoard of shit like DS games and that stuff. I love talking to the people that are selling it to me and talking to the people I'm selling it to, because obviously we're both interested in the same item. Like if I'm selling a Pokemon game, I'm going to have a conversation about the Pokemon games and that stuff. I really enjoy it. I find it's a nice social thing to do. Next thing is I'm going to be going really heavy into the Steinware business I have going on, where me and my friends would just buy like broken consoles from pawn shops, fix them up, and then we either resell it to said pawn shop or we just resell it to the public as our own storefront, basically. Now that I have an absurd amount of time, that seems like a pretty good idea. I might make some videos about things that we're fixing and that stuff. Another thing I was thinking about is, and this is a good idea for you guys to do at home, if you guys work from home, cat sit. Fucking all you have to do really is just allow a creature to exist in your home, and all of a sudden now you're making like 50 to 100 bucks a day just doing your work, I guess. So like that one seems to be a bit more of a solid thing. Also, I've been employed for this like talent company thing for like over a year now. And the way that this one works is that they'll just randomly reach out. They're like, yeah, we need a concrete mixer. We'll pay you $22 an hour. And this is all like official shit too. So like they just like have like small gigs that come out of nowhere. And I think that's shit that I really enjoy, because like when I think of employment, I think that it's just kind of a waste of time, because then I'm not really learning anything, or I'm not really doing anything that I want to do. But I do like learning new things. I always like the first like month or so of working at a new place and then just learning a crap ton of stuff. But I don't like when I'm like 6 months in and I know everything and now it's just monotonous. This one, it switches up every time. 1 week, I could be like a concrete mixer. Then the next gig, I could be like someone who organizes like a strawberry like farmer's market, and for some reason they need people to be 6 feet tall when it comes into the strawberry market, and I fit that bill. They also pay $25 for a 6-foot person for this goddamn strawberry thing. I don't know why. Anyways, the main goal is to do that, do my own shit, and then cat sit. And then now I also have a lot more time to make these type of videos and make them better quality. Obviously, that was not a factor in the thing, because I am very, very, very far away from getting monetized. And being monetized isn't exactly the goal here. I just like making the videos, and I also just want to share stories, whether it's real stories I've experienced or stories that I've made up, like fictional stuff, and then to also like share my art. So yeah, that's basically it. Goop Factory was good, straight to the end there. And I'd say, being honest, like, a lot of you guys should probably just look into getting like a night shift factory job, because they're really, really steady. You get like a huge amount of pay, and then like the benefits and everything are pretty good. Even if you're just using it to get to another point in your life, like I was aiming to use it for, it's still really, really useful. Anyways, video's dragging out. It's gonna be like 10 minutes and like 3 seconds. So bye-bye.